Good day, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And this time around, the first one to give you is how to make Asho Okay cap, the native cap. You can see this is a made cap already, but I'm going to be teaching you, I'm going to be giving you details on how to cut to achieve this slant line and how to cut to achieve this slant line, even with the fact that the pattern is straight. And there's a lot of things you need for this, not so much. You need your Asho Okay, you need your tape rule, measuring tape, you need your chalk, you need your ruler, and you need your scissors. And this is one of the most ancient type of cap, but then a lot of fashion designers don't really know how to go around it, and young entrepreneurs that want to know how to make a cap. Also, you're going to be needing stay and any kind of fabrics, a little bit thick, but you can always use your table. You can use your table for the inside. Now, I'm firstly going to teach you how to cut, which is very, very simple. Now, no matter the size of the person's cap, which I'm going to be teaching you how to cut for an adult. Now, the cap size of an adult starts from 22. So we have 22, we have 22 and a half, we have 23, and we have 24. So people who use 24 are people who have a bigger head size, or people who keep hair. So those are people who use 24, 24 and a half, and thereabout. So I'm going to be teaching you a general formula where you can make for people from 22 to 24. So this formula has always been working, and you're going to say I'm going to put it through how it is being done. So the first thing you need to do is, first of all, you need to trim the edge of your Asha Okay, or you can call it Ofi. Once you trim it, the first thing you want to do is you want to measure slantly 9 inches. So from this point, you want to measure 9 inches. From this point, you want to measure 9 inches slantly, and you chalk it to make sure you're having your 9 inches. So from this edge, you come like this. You measure your 9 inches and make sure it is to this other edge. So whatever slant is giving you, just make sure you're measuring 9 inches. So this is 9 inches. You take your tape rule, measuring your ruler, and you make sure it is very, very obvious. So let me see if this chalk is helping us. Yes. So once you do this, you have this slant. The next thing you want to do is you want to measure 12 and a half. So from this point, let's call this point A, and let's call this point B. From point A, you measure 12 and a half, and you mark it with your chalk. So once you mark it with your chalk, you do the same thing here. You measure 12 and a half, and you also mark it with your chalk. Once you do that, you take your ruler and you connect it like this. Once you connect it like this, it gives you two things. It gives you this the product that will make your cap slant. It will also give you the outcome that will make your cap higher, because if you can see the height of this cap now, this actually okay, it is not high enough to make this kind of cap. So this slant method will help you to have a higher cap height and also a slanty cap width. So once you do that, you cut this out. Once you cut this out, you cut this out too, to have this slant. Now with this measurement, you use it to cut two more. This measurement we've cut out, you use it to cut two more of this exact slant shape. So once you put it like this, automatically the last size will be the same with the first, once your measurement is intact. So you use it to cut it again. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, comment, and share. Thank you. Once you have this, the next thing you need to do is you need to join these three together to form something like this. This can be a bit confusing, but then I'm going to go around it. Look at what it's giving us. So let me scatter it again, and this is what we have. So what you need to do is you make it slant like this, and you put the next one like this. You put the next one like this. So once you have this is already giving us a straight line. But prior to that, pick any one of these and cut it from this point to this point. So you cut it from this point to this point. Any of the three you've cut out, pick one of it and cut it out from one edge to another. Once you do that, the next thing you are going to be having is a perfect straight width. Now look at it. Two things we have from this cutting. The first thing is the fact that, number one, you can see that the height of our cap is now higher than what our cap looks like. Then number two, you can see that we've achieved our slant method that will give us, that will make our cap look just like this. So what the next thing we need to do is look at this edge, you place it on it gently and you sew it straight. The same thing here, you place it on it gently and you sew it straight. Also the third one, you place it on it gently and you sew it straight. Let me scatter it again and arrange it for people who are a bit confused. So once you make this like this, the next thing you want to do is you put another one. Look at it now. You can make an error like this, but rather you do it this way. Once you do it like that, you take this, do it this way, and the last one, you come here and put it like this. Then we have it arranged like a puzzle. So we are going to go around and we are going to join this. So once we join this, we are going to cut stay. Our stay should be around 3.5 inches, but the height should be 3.5 by the length of what we have. So can you remember that I said this method can sew for any cap size from 22 to 25. So look at what we have here. We have 25 inches. You can decide to sew for 24. You can decide to sew for 23. You can decide to sew for 22. So this is just one of the best methods you can use to make your Ashoke cap. Then let us go and join this cap together. Cool. Yes, welcome back to. So we've been able to join it, and this is what we have. And this has actually given us a straight cap. So the next thing we want to do is I want to show you how you cut your what's it called, your stay. So what you do is you come here and measure 3.5. You can do 3, but this is 3.5 I want to use. You can decide to do 3, but this is 3.5 I want to use. And you measure 3. So you come here and measure a straight line. This is your hard stay. So you use your hard stay. Personally, I always love my cap to be thick, so I'm going to be using 2 of it. So this 3.5, and I'm going to be measuring 24 for my cap for the stay. So don't forget I'm doing 2, but let me cut this out so that I'll be able to use it to cut the second one. If your hand is not straight, learn to cut outside the line so that you can always try to retrim back. Because if you cut inside the line, that automatically means that your stay will be shorter. So cut outside the line if you know your hand is not very straight. You can still remeasure. Instead of using this to cut, you can remeasure 3.5 by 24. In case your hand is not very straight, you can remeasure and mark it out. But I choose to use the one I used to. So see, this is what I have. So the next thing is I'm going to place it on this, and I'm going to sew it out. Now note that when I am sewing it, don't forget that the cap size I want to do is 22.5. I have measured my cap round neck head and it's 22.5. So what I need for this cap is 22.5. But luckily for us, we have enough and we have even excess. What we have here is 26.5. And all I need is just 22.5. So what I do is I decide to cut my stay. So my stay, what I have here is 23.5. Though what I plan to cut is 24, but what I have is 23.5. So for me to now sew 22.5 is not going to be difficult for me. So this is why I decide to cut excess. So if the head size is like 23, 24, you need to know that your stay has to be longer than what I am cutting. So after cutting this, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my fabric that I'm going to be using as lining. You can use, I don't recommend lining because lining is too soft. So you can use any thick material. You can use teru. You can use any convenient material that is not drawing, like all those crepe and the likes. But once the material is firm, a real cutting material. So what I'm going to do is I am going to cut the same size of my cap. I'm going to cut it as the lining for my cap. So after doing that, then the next thing is I am going to sew. So look at this. So I have this exact for this. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sew my stay on my Ashoke. Now note, I am not sewing it like this. I am leaving half inch. I'm leaving half inch before sewing. Now I'm going to sew it like this, depending on how many lines I want to put there. Some people just do up and here, but I love to put at least 5 to 6 different lines that will be even on my on my stage. So I'm going to go to my machine and I'm going to sew this out. And I'm going to do, so I can decide to do half inch, half inch, half inch, half inch round to give me my lines, to make my cap look more better, or the way I just like to do my own cap. Kindly like, comment, share, and subscribe. What our next video on how we make and sew the Hashoke cap. Thank you.